Yes, bad bitch, which bad bitch, Joan Jack.
Ugh, you are a snob and a half.
Like a boss, like a hot boss.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Fierce Chats. My name is Sasha, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. How about the algorithm? How about your local girls, okay? Send them over to the Fierce Chat side. I honestly really can't believe that we the guests that we have today. I don't know how many times
highly anticipated.
We tried to coordinate this, but wow, guys, we finally have my husband on Fierce Chats podcast. Woo, baby! Daryl Coleman.
Wow,
you gracing us with your presence. Let me have a little drink, a little sip, because
You already know why. We're not even gonna get there right now. You know why?
Why?
Because you don't know how to act.
What is that?
You don't know how to act.
I don't know how to act.
There we go. We're gonna tell the truth. Yeah, absolutely. How many times during season 1 should we have recorded?
Maybe like 5 times.
Why did we not record?
Because you get on my nerves?
Because you don't know how to act. That's what it is. And I refuse to be fake for you guys. So now today it's been better. My wife still does not know how to act. And we're here right now.
Literally, of course, we're recording on a day where I have no makeup. No, y'all get into the natural. If you're actually watching the podcast, take a look at the video and things like that. I'm in my all natural. We are wearing our Fierce Chats merch. He wanted to match me so bad.
No, I'm here to support. Since I haven't been on season 1. Can't do nothing but support, babe. Love you.
Oh, I love you too, baby. How was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty good. Prince Amir came, our little boy, 5-year-old.
That was so nice.
Yeah, he came, blessed us with his presence. So it was good. Spent time with the family, went everywhere. It was good. It was nice.
Where'd you go actually?
Where we end up going? So Friday, we chilled. Or where did we go Friday? Thursday we chilled. He came in Thursday early morning. Mm-hmm. Thursday we chilled at home. Got my boy some toys. Friday, damn babe, what did we do?
Friday we got up, but we had to work on Friday. So Nene and Poppy came over.
To
have some time, and then later on, you guys did the fort.
Oh, we built the fort.
Yeah, you built the fort.
Yeah.
While I went to the Valentine's Day pop-up at the Blind Pig in the Parlor.
Yeah, Galentine, right?
Galentine's Day night.
Yeah, so yeah, we stayed at home, and on Saturday we actually went everywhere. Saw the godparents, grandparents, spent a lot of good quality time. So it was good. Went shopping, got more toys. He has a lot of toys, so it was good. Spent a lot of time with the family. So yeah.
You gonna ask me how my weekend was, or you don't give a damn?
I know you were outside. My wife stays outside, so.
Are you serious?
Babe, how was your weekend?
Let's
talk about it.
Honestly, I feel like my weekend, honey, I really can't even get into the hair right now. I'm shooked. But this weekond, I don't know. This week, my ass has been tight all week.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Huh? You
want to talk about it?
I get, I was just kind of stressed out this week, like a lot of stuff with the business. The podcast is coming back on. It's a lot of work, And then, of course, aside from those things, even though those things are priority, obviously my main priority is my family. And, it's dealing with how to balance that. Honestly, which I feel like I definitely want to talk to you about. But before that, let's get into the mess. You know what?
Hold on, let the audience know this is not pre-scripted for me, so I don't know what questions are going to be asked, anything. So let's get into it.
So last season I did actually have a script, but the first season when it was just Sash Girls, remember my Fierce Girls? You've been here since season 1 when it was just me before I had on guests. I just used to be on the fly, and I just feel like I want to take it back to the roots. I feel like last season I was so focused on the script that I couldn't really get to the convo, at least for me. And I'm not saying the content wasn't good. I just feel like I want to go back to stuff that feels good, feels comfortable, feels organic to me. So, no, you don't know what topics we're going to be discussing today. I don't have any like real questions for you, but I know what topics we're discussing today.
Huh. I'm interested. I'm here.
Anywho, first topic.
Cool.
Our first topic is Ashanti and Nelly.
I know nothing. I don't know anything.
I'm not saying you know anything about it. So we already know that Ashanti and Nelly, they got back together.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, they got back together after like 10 years.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
I'm not. No reason.
Okay, so they got back together after 10 years.
Cool.
And personally, you know, for me, like, you know, they look very happy, and I'm so happy for them. Truthfully, so happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
It is being rumored currently that Ashanti is pregnant. She's pregnant with child. So this episode is actually going to come out on, I think it's going to be our first episode. I want it to be our first episode. So it should come out on 2/15, right after Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, ugly. But I have a big thing about going back to exes. And even though I'm so happy for them, that was like a 10-year hiatus or something. And then they got back together, and now she's allegedly preggers.
Okay.
So I know you don't know nothing about Ashanti and Nelly. Yeah. Like, what do you think about people who like want to try again in a relationship after like a time period or whatever happened?
Honestly, I think it's valid. Depending on the person, right?
You think it's valid?
Depending on the person, right? You got in a relationship for a reason in the beginning. Okay. And one party may not have been mature enough. And so going back is one thing that is kind of, I don't go back.
Do you go back?
I don't go back. You know, it depends on the situation. Yeah. Relationships, I don't go back. I just don't go back. It's my rule.
Why don't you go back?
I feel like that you open up a door for extra possibilities, right? Because you end up dating other people, but you put yourself in a position that you may not want to really face the reality of. So, I feel like if I leave somebody out, I literally, or decide to take a break or decide to, hey, part ways, I think about it thoroughly, and I'm like, all right, it's no going back. Oh, so that's me. But for other people, and I've seen other situations where that break may give everyone like a time to develop themselves. Yeah. Right? In areas where they lack, because it takes a strong person to listen to their significant other, or like say their boyfriend, right, or their girlfriend, and it takes a strong person, man or woman, to listen to them and possibly work on the things, those weaknesses or those flaws, and then probably come back and be a better person for that individual 10 years, 5 years, 1 year later.
Whoa, baby. Those are your thoughts.
My thoughts, yeah.
I mean, I think that's a valid point. Those are valid points. Like, you know, the relationship's very interesting. And you may think that you're like really ready to do something when you're really not. And then you may be, like you said, more willing and able. Yeah. Went at another time. Not for me. I personally think that don't put your foot in the door that God has closed. The door. Why are you laughing? The door is closed, bro. Door is closed. It was closed for a reason.
It probably was timing. I don't think I do honestly believe that God will reintroduce things like if you didn't catch it the first time. It's like, hey, that person probably was your soulmate, but you were a little too ignorant to see it or to understand it and be patient enough to sit here and grow into a place where that you can help that person can help you in your season or your era. It probably was the wrong season where you met that person. You never know.
Interesting. I mean, I definitely can't say never because it could work. It just like in my history, I just feel like it hasn't. You know, back in the day when I used to date a long ass time ago, like a million years ago, I'd honestly forget about it. But back then, like I feel like anytime I went back to an ex, it was pure madness. It was pure chaos. It was pure riffraff. It was pure just stupid. And I mean, and the only thing about it that felt good was the comfortability. I know you. History. And you know, you'd have those little moments where you're like, you know what? I remember we used to do this, but you're still like
so now I gotta ask. So the reasons the relationship didn't work, was it because of the guy or was it because of you?
What? Stop. What?
the reason the relationships ended, was it because of your partners, your previous partners, or was it because of you?
It ain't me.
Exactly. That's the first thing. When you understand that you're accountable as well, and you cannot. That's why you don't backtrack, because it was never you. It was always the other person. That's crazy.
I mean,
Come on now.
come
on, let's talk about it.
I mean, the thing is that I don't know. You know, I really don't know what to say. Remember, I told you about like dating and stuff for me. For me, I felt like I never met the king to my queen. And so, therefore, yes, they're always the problem. But I'm not going to say I was perfect. Like, I know I wasn't perfect. I don't know, you know. Maybe it was. I'd have to really, really think about it, because it really has been that long ago. But, like, I'd have to really think about it. And actually, I mean, I just feel like, I don't know if I ever had an ex that, like, it was a long period of time, like ASHANTI and NELLY, and then I came back. I feel like it was an ex where it was like, y'all dealt with each other on and off for a long time period. Like, I had stuff like that. And I feel like would you consider that going back?
Nah, I wouldn't consider that a relationship.
Ooh!
And the reason is that's the person you dealt with.
Ooh!
That's it.
A person I dealt with.
Yeah, that's it. You have people that you deal with.
Wow.
I can say honestly, I've dealt with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Being honest.
Okay.
But I've only had a handful of relationships. Let's talk about it.
But the thing is, and that's the problem, because that's really the thing about it, is that you're in one place and the other person, like, I don't know what I was seeing on TikTok. Okay, I saw it on TikTok. Okay, I know it's not a valuable source. But what was he saying, Kayla? Somebody was saying something, and he was just like, that man don't like you.
For sure.
You're sitting over here trying to do this, that, and he doesn't like you. You're playing hard to get rid of. You're playing hard to get rid of, not hard to get. You're playing hard to get rid of, because you're not paying attention to the signs. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's the thing too, because I can say that particular off and on, I may have been in a situationship by myself.
That was a situationship. Exactly. If I feel like if it's not said that we're in a relationship, we ain't in a relationship. We just talk. We're talking.
So no matter how long the time period's been.
Why are you assuming that we're in a relationship if it has not been stated?
That is crazy. That's crazy.
It's crazy to assume that you're in a relationship and you're really in a relationship by yourself.
I agree.
Is that not crazy?
I think that is crazy.
All right, cool.
But I think it's crazy to think you're going to spend all this time with me and we're not in one.
The thing is, you allowed it for it not to be said. And now you're sitting here, you're in a situationship because you set the standard.
Oh, I mean, I agree. I think in this particular relationship, you know, or situationship, I was super young, 17 or 18 or something like that.
That don't count.
And didn't even really know, or 18, didn't even really know what was going on. But, you know, I was at Southern at 17. So I was in college.
You a little baby.
Big grown.
A bit little baby.
Big grown.
Still figuring things out.
Figuring stuff out. And this was the first time I ever heard somebody talk about talking. It was like, oh, we talked. Yeah. We've been talking. Like, what the hell is talking?
So now this goes back to, how much did you date prior to college?
I had like one serious boyfriend in high school. And that would be about it. That would be about it. And that one serious boyfriend was like somebody I met on MySpace. Met up in a mall. Which today in 2024, are you trying to get kidnapped, girl? Yeah, something like that. And you know my parents, right? So, you know, and I wasn't driving in high school either. So... You know, I probably, and I say serious relationship, but we probably seen each other around like 6 times over like a 2-year relationship. So maybe I didn't have a relationship. You're really trying to unwind a lot of my things that are set stone and they're already what they are.
Today, this is my show right now. So now
you're gonna have to get out.
The questions. Hold on. Let's get back. You were 17 and you didn't know better.
Right. Yes.
So now you're dealing with, was a person your age, older?
Older. And I mean, like, the person was probably about 4 years older than me. Absolutely. Right. Yes. Yeah. Super impressionable. Super like, oh, he said we're talking, so I guess we're talking.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
It's the senior freshman like mentality.
That's what it was. A senior to a freshman. Yes. That's what it was.
You got me a little young dumb when I probably got a whole girl over here.
Had a whole girlfriend, baby. Had an entire girlfriend. Said it wasn't that. Yeah. Said it was some things that we were working on. All of these different things.
Said things that make you happy. And make
things that make me happy, right? And then I was, you know, we were in Southern. And then that girlfriend was in Atlanta. So, you know what? I don't have time.
The thing is, you know what? You have to go through things like that to learn.
Yeah.
To learn.
Yeah.
And now, when you went through that, did you go through it again?
Hell the fuck.
Because you were naive then. You didn't know. You didn't know of the world.
I didn't. I really didn't.
For the audience, I grew up fast, very fast. So I was outside, I'm going to say about 13, 12.
What does outside mean for you at 13 or 12?
I was at the mall. I was at Stonecrust.
Were you having jean sex?
Oh, man, jean sex. We passed that. So I grew up in Decatur. So North DeKalb Mall, when they had the arcade outside Stonecrest Mall before, they had the curfew.
Mall. All the badass kids went to Stonecrest Mall.
It was my parents weren't strict. So my mom wasn't strict. So me and my sisters were outside. We were outside every weekend. She kicked us out for the weekend.
Okay, so you felt when was your first relationship?
My first relationship, I'd say I was probably about 16.
Okay.
This is when I was talking to the older lady. And that was my relationship. You want to know more about it?
I mean, we had a lot of different conversations. If you want to share with the girls.
Sure. I dealt with an older woman. She
was how old? How much older than you?
Probably about 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
2 or 3 years. So
you're 16, so that's statutory.
She was out of school when I was
statutory rape.
It was a good time. All right, let me stop. I'm chilling. All right, so it was.
I'm confident in my space, baby.
I think when I was in high school, she was not in high school anymore. She had graduated, but she exposed me to things. You know what I mean? I went to my first out of town trip. Like I went to Jacksonville. I went to Jeju before it became.
Oh, she took you to Jeju?
Yeah, for sure. Like she exposed me to things that I didn't know existed. So
that's okay. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the same kind of thing. And that's where, I mean, it's different, or it may be different. Cause I feel like I'm a girl, so I feel like it's a little different, but the same kind of things. And that's how I ended up, just like, believing, listening, because he did show me different stuff that I didn't really know. And by show me different stuff, I really mean like go to the club and sit in the section where all the bottles and stuff are paid for. That's what I mean. But at 17, I was like, ooh, a section? I didn't even pay attention to people in sections at that time. When stuff is above your tax bracket, you won't even see it. Really? Like if it's sometimes you won't. You might not.
But now I think it depends on where and how you were raised. So I was going to the club at 14, 15 and sitting in sections at Obsessions in East Atlanta. And I'm like, okay, sections are normal. Like, so now I'm being exposed. So now when we go to Southern, I'm like, I've been here. I'm like, y'all, you just now living and you're not coming to the space where you're trying to learn yourself as a grown up. And I'm like, man, I've been here for like 5 years. So now I'm actually focusing on school because I didn't focus on school in high school. It's growing up quickly.
Yeah.
And understanding like you're all right, cool. But you know what? Which is good is that I grew up. I made my mistakes early, got to college, and I didn't make as many mistakes. I was kind of focused. Like, all right, let me go join the military, right? Yeah. And I didn't think about any of this stuff in high school. Now let me go focus on school to make sure my GPA is good. In high school, my GPA was like a 2.2? Something crazy, 2.3. And I kept a 3.45 throughout college. And I kind of focused, and I still partied, but I was able to balance it out.
So you did the summer program at Southern?
No, I didn't.
You didn't have to do the summer program?
I had got a high score on my ACT. I wasn't dumb.
I know you wasn't dumb. I know you just know you wasn't going to class.
I just didn't go to class.
You didn't go to class. So that's really the reflection of that. That's it. But you didn't have to go to the summer EIP.
No, I got.
You just score high enough on your ACT to be able to get into the courses.
Yeah.
And you're into school and be fine.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I guess that is a good point. I mean, you're right. I would say show me stuff, but I went to high school in Woodstock in Cherokee County. Shout out to Cherokee County.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay, whatever.
For the longest.
Okay. And I went to Etowah High School, so at that time, I'm the firstborn, and I don't know, you're the youngest of your house. So like it's a little different. With the firstborn, I feel like there's a lot of testing going on. It's a lot of, we know what we should be doing. We read all the parent books and this is what we want you to do. And so with them, for me, I wasn't going nowhere. But also I feel like I was the kid that they knew I couldn't go nowhere. Because I would have been gone. Hell, I probably would have ran into you, boo.
You was the badass.
I would have probably it was in me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you it was in me.
Let's expound on enemy. What does that mean? You are outside.
It just,
you had that little bad characteristic. They were like, hold on, wait. We need to calm her down. The other ones, the other sibs, they good. They're responsible.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, my sister, I said I wasn't driving in school.
Yeah.
My sister drove in school, and then her brother. I'm gonna call her brother because them is different siblings than me because they had different experience than I did. They drove in high school. I did not.
That's level of
If
maturity.
they would have let me drive in high school, I would have drove to the South Side to go see Toots. Shout out to Toots. But I would have left to go see Toots. In high school, my parents were dropping me off at Toots' house to go and spend the night at like 16 or something like that. They knew. Yeah, they knew. And anytime I was like, my parents eventually let me do different stuff with a couple of my friends on the cheer squad that were a little bit older than me. And we would go to like little parties and stuff like that. But once they graduated, that was it for Sash. They were like, nah, you ain't got no shops. We don't trust you to say, So they really had me in the house.
Shout out to your parents because sometimes that level of knowing your child and putting those guardrails in place, that's lit. I understand being overly protective, but at least you had guardrails in place.
I agree.
I had none.
I agree. I mean, I definitely think that they measured that correctly.
Yeah.
And so since they measured that correctly, instead, I got it out when I went to Southern. Ha ha ha! Revenge. I'm just kidding. When by that time when we go to Southern, like, not I am who I am, but like it is what it is. I didn't really feel like I needed to catch up on that portion, but I went to Southern and like nothing crazy, but like crazy for my house. Like 90 days later, I had my nose ring, I had my lip ring, I had my belly button ring. Yeah. I had a little lip ring. I was like, wow, I'm so fucking cute. I'm so cute. I'm really cute. Started skipping class. But those are the things that you're talking about that you did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like those were things. And those were also things that people were doing when I was in high school as well. It's just that my parents was not playing it. So I couldn't really participate in those things that people may have gotten out in high school. I got that out in college.
But at least you didn't succumb to that, right? Where you still was able to finish school. You were able to get a good job.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people didn't make it. You got to think they probably had a strict household in the beginning. Then, I have friends like that, right? That went to Southern and was like, damn, freedom. And now they're trying to figure it out. We're in our 30s, right? So they're trying to figure it out.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
I mean, you can't be figuring it out. And I'm still figuring it out. I mean, I don't know.
Everybody's figuring it out.
Everybody's figuring it out. We're going to continue to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
Till, what's that called? Death do us part. Death do us part. Do us part. You, us. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, next topic. You said you were going to ask me a question, but I don't know what that question was.
Has an ex ever tried to spin the block?
Has an ex ever tried to spin the block?
Yeah.
Have you seen me lately? Everybody tries to spin the block. The block spinneth every time it's needed to spend. I mean, but has anybody ever spin the block? I mean, honestly, you know what? The basic definition of it, sure. But if you're going to spin the block, you need to turn that thing around like, what does that
look like?
I left something. Let me turn around.
But what does that look like?
Let me come back.
What does that look like?
Okay. It is the bullshit that I feel like occurs with men when they are knowing that they don't want shit. However, they're bored. And so they spin the block though. That's a spin the block still, but you're bored. So this is what that looks like. There's a difference between what I'm talking about. If you spin the block and you're just like, let me turn around this corner. Oh my gosh, I thought I loved something. Let me go back. That's what this is what that looks like.
So come with pressure.
Right. So this is what it looks like for me. A nigga just hit you up and be like, hey, what's up? How you been? Get off my phone. That is a spin the block, or is that not the spin the block?
It depends. All right. So now I got to ask you, what type of men have you dealt with? High caliber men or mediocre men? And it's no disrespect to your exes. You know what I mean? It's your opinion.
My opinion is I feel truthfully in my spirit you know, in the time that I was dating these men, not sure who they are today, mediocrity. I would not say that I really, and I feel like the reason for that is because, like I said, I never felt like I met the king to my queen. So I feel like, I don't know what I was actually looking for. So I guess at the time, you know, Sasha was on her Mary Jane. So, you know, I just need a man to just, you know, rub the back, you know, pay to go out to dinner, a couple of nails and all of those things. So that's where I feel like, you know, I didn't really do the background or my due diligence of what this man could really, you know, I guess help us accomplish. It was more like a feel good. So I can't really say that.
All right, so let's forget about those past relationships and let's talk about ours, right?
Okay.
So now when you say you met a king to your queen,
yeah,
what traits of a king do I have, and what, you know, how do you feel like that attracted you towards me or me towards you? Like what is that?
Is your light green on your mic?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What do I feel like that looks like?
Yeah.
What looked like to me? Okay. So, I mean, there were so many things going on before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting my master's.
Cool.
I was transferring jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I was really understanding my place in the world at that time. And so I knew what it was that I was at least not going to tolerate. So for you, when we met, what I felt like what I saw was planning and effort. And that's just like, honestly, I don't want to diminish it down at all, but like, that's the bare minimum. Just plan and effort. Now, once we get underneath that, let's see what you planned. Let's see what the effort was. But, you know, whether or not it's targeted at the person that you're actually trying to date, or you just did a whole bunch of planning and this don't have nothing to do with that person. That could be that. But for you, it was planning and effort. I literally remember you asking me, like, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you like to do? And I was like, tacos. I like to eat tacos. Like, and I feel like I hate that question. Not that I hated you asking me that question. I hate that question because I'm like, I don't know. So I'll always say something like food. So I said food. Mm-hmm. And I think that was, I don't recall if you asked me a follow-up question after that, but you built an idea off of it, or you planned something off of that. We went to get tacos. We went to Pond City Market at the rooftop of Pond City Market. And I hadn't done that before. And that was when, you know, like the adult hour after a certain time and different stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. And, you know, that's at least, you know, checking off the box for a great first date. And I was like, you know, this is at least some quality. Now, you know, like, I know that there are times where women do experience things like this and there's nothing but a bunch of hoopla on the other side of it. However, I will say for our interaction, I immediately was like, okay, this is different. It did feel very different. I felt like it had been a long time since somebody actually made plans and effort versus like, we're going to go to dinner and we're going to sit at this white table and there's going to be white tablecloths, you know, like that. And I'm not trying to undermine that either. I'm just saying, like, I could tell you took your time.
All right. So
it could have been 5 minutes.
My perspective
what
was, like you said, time and effort, but I listened to you. And to me, that wasn't like, that's just how I am, right? I'm like, how I'm going to plan a date. If I'm actively dating, how I'm going to plan a date and I don't know what you want to eat. I don't even know nothing about you. I don't know if you're allergic to something. So what if I'm like, all right, let's go to a restaurant that has seafood. You may be allergic to shellfish. Like, I don't know.
Niggas don't even think about shit like that.
All right, so no. The niggas that you dealt with.
Ooh!
Hey, to be real, to be honest, it's really just being considerate.
Wow.
And that's the thing. I'm not rare. The thing is, I just actively listen to you and I'm like, huh.
The thing is, you are rare. And it's the thing about
Why
it.
is that? Because you're not used to it.
It's not because I'm not used to it. Mm-hmm. I think that there are so many, well, okay, it could be that. Yeah. But I think that there are so many women. There's a lot of women. And there's more women than men. But I guess that's an unnecessary fact. The point of the matter is that I feel like in order to get quality, you gotta do a little digging. Like the people who come to the surface, when you go out to the club or when you go to wherever your normal little social interactions are, those are the surface men. They're surface men. For the most part, they're surface. Like, what's going on? I think you're cute. Yeah, your ass look nice and this and this and that. And then when you start to try and have a conversation or build off of that, I'm not saying that every single time, but try and build off of that, it's, no quality. I think that you are rare, but I don't think that you are impossible. I just think that you have to know what it is that you're looking for and not even know what it is that you're looking for. I think that I was very rooted in how I felt about myself at that time. So I felt like it made it easier for me to see what I was not going to be doing. But I just don't think, personally, ladies, let us know in the comments, baby. Hit us up, Fierce Girls, in the comments. Atlanta, in regards to dating, I'm just going to say the quality, honey, you gotta.
This is what I've heard this in multiple Fierce Chats episodes.
Okay.
Where there is quality.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a lot of quality.
Okay.
The thing is where you meet your quality at, which is the club.
We met at the club.
We met at the club, but we met at GSU alumni kind of get together. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's what you think you're attracted. You're in the wrong space. You're not over there with high caliber man. And the thing is, you think I would be going to the place that we met, not going to speak. Think I'm going there every Friday or Saturday? Nah.
Sweet Lounge?
Yeah, Sweet Lounge. I'm not going there.
I was going there every Friday and Saturday.
Exactly.
Actually, my first time, really being out at that time.
That was my first time going back outside in like 6 months.
So you feel like there is a lot of quality?
I think you got a lot of quality. I think it all depends on where you meet those people. If you go to the club like, I can get me a man tonight, you're going to get a situationship that night. Or probably, even if it's not that night, the man's going to be patient to get what he wants. You're going to get a situationship.
Why?
Nothing of substance.
Why?
Because the place in which you meet the person. Like now you got to sit here and think, when you met me, I was in a whole different atmosphere, right?
But so what do we say about that? Can we not, is that not hypocritical for us to say that?
Expand your horizons. Stop going to the club and thinking that popping bottles is like the places where you meet a rich nigga, because it's not. You need to go and sit here. Go to the library. Go to the place where men of substance are. You got to kind of expand those horizons. That's my thoughts. Because now, like me and my friends, me and the guys, and I can speak for my guys, is especially my circle, they're men of substance, right? Or do you disagree? You don't agree or disagree? Let's talk about it.
Okay. Yes, they are men of substance.
Men of substance.
They are men of substance. And so since you did say that in regards to quality and it not being quality, it's not that. Scratch that. It is that, I don't know. And I don't know what to say about this. But I feel like a woman or women, y'all gonna eat me up. But I just feel like women will give all of themselves to anybody.
Why?
Because women are nurturers. And so there's no real, I'm not going to half-ass you. Now, not even a half-ass. It's just that women are nurturers. And I just think that women will give everything that they've got to someone. Now, men, and that's why I'm like, because you're right. There is substance and there is quality everywhere. However, men is not putting that out there. They are, and they know when they want to. I feel like men know when they would like to. I feel like there's a man. That's why when, a woman's like, well, bitch, I'm not finna give you a man that I've been sitting over here doing all this work for. And you may not, sis, but he gonna leave. And then he gonna give that to the person that he wants to give it to, or all that stuff that you were working on. He gonna give it to the woman that he actually wants to. So I feel like, okay, maybe it's not that there's not quality. It's just that men are, and it may sound, I don't know. Men are just like, I just don't get it. Like, if you're dating, right? Ben, if you're dating, as a man, if you're dating, why are you not if you chose to take somebody out on a date, doesn't that mean that you found that she's quality? But so why are y'all on the phone talking about man, I ain't finna do all that. I ain't doing that. She want to be in a relationship. I ain't doing that shit.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
Let's circle back to the beginning of the conversation, right?
Right.
When you said, hey, women probably get in relationships without talking to the person that they're in a relationship with. The thing is, you got to actually determine, hey, that may be a situationship because those guardrails have not been set. That person is not in a relationship with you. You decided that you're in a relationship with that person.
I think we can say that. Okay, I guess that's the case
So
then.
now
Okay.
a man of quality and a man of, let's say, effort, he will show effort to the person that he's probably in a relationship with and not in a situationship. I would not, in my situationships, I did not put in effort because I didn't have to.
Why do you have to?
Because the ladies that I dealt with
Didn't require
they
it.
allowed it.
They
allowed me to sit here and say, all right, I'll holler at you tomorrow. And I'm still chilling over here.
All right, ladies.
But now let's be honest. Let's
that
talk
ain't
about
for me.
it.
Who this for?
Let's talk about
Who
it.
this for?
Hey, at one time it probably was you.
Nah.
You never?
Nah.
Okay, look, you had to think about it.
Yeah, you know what? Let me stop.
Come
the thing
on.
is that I feel like I didn't know.
You didn't
know
know?
what I mean? I didn't realize that was what I was doing. And like what we were talking about before, I didn't realize that I was doing that until I started to see different stuff. But I took, words for what they were, or I took whatever I was experiencing for what it was. Like, I don't know. I think honestly, I'm calling bullshit because I'm just like, tell the girls what you're up to. If you're not interested in having a relationship, why can't that be said?
Hold on, wait. Why would you want us men to express our hearts and our feelings?
That is not hearts and feelings.
You know what? The truth, but women be over here dating, talking to probably 3 or 4 different dudes, and you think that's been exposed. They're telling the guys that they're dating, or the good guys that's probably putting the effort, that they're actually like, hey man, I'm talking to Lil Joe over here. I'm talking Lil John over here too. Man, he be paying for my nails and my wigs, my installs. This other dude doing X, Y, Z. Do you think? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I mean, I guess.
Come on, you want us to be honest, but you don't want to be honest with us. And now you're sitting here and said there's a lack of men out here of substance. Nah,
it is
same way. You kind of got, you say you got exposed at 17 years, not exposed.
Yeah.
You didn't know you were dealing with, an older guy.
Sure.
And now let me circle it back, right? Is that sometimes men get exposed to these trifling women, and now they're like, hey, or they get comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get exposed to these women that are sitting here talking to probably 5 or 6 dudes, when one man probably like, you know what, I'm really trying with her, and they get burnt. So now you're cautious. You've learned the lesson. Now you're aware of how the world really can treat you, or how these women really are in Atlanta. How they are in Atlanta.
Which is what?
They want the bottles. They want the sections, what we just talked about.
Okay.
They want the latest cars. They want the Chanels.
Okay.
The Bottegas.
Okay.
I can keep going.
So what are you saying?
So now what I'm saying is that if you have a man of quality, all men of quality don't just have money, right? That's
right.
And I feel like a lot of women in Atlanta are materialistic, and now they sit here and say, "Hey, if you're not providing X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna go ahead and go ship over here with this guy that is of less substance than this man over here." And now you're saying, now this guy doing you dirty because he can. And now you're sitting here like, bro, ain't no quality man. You just stepped on the quality man that you had available, that God sent you. Let's talk about it. And now this man, because you don't step on this man, now you know what happens? Now he feels some type of, he's hurt. He's more than likely hurt, which he's not going to communicate to the world. But what he going to do? He's going to do what was possibly done upon him. He ain't like, man, I can't trust these women, so I'm going to be a dog out here. I'm gonna do what I do to fill my heart or my void, and I'm just out here.
I mean, I think that the top of that is the lack of communication. Truthfully, like if you feel like you're saying, okay, so she went and dogged whatever nigga out or whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's say on the other end, a woman is doing that, right? Like women do pass up the nice guy, for the bad guy or whatever. That's what I feel like I heard you say.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so that's the man of quality versus the bad guy who may have some money and be able to do A, B, and C, right? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say about that one in particular. I think that, everybody can like someone in regards to their own discretion. And if you've got a Steve Urkel who is giving you flowers and stuff like that, and you're not necessarily into him, I don't think that should be something that's labeled as, women just kind of dogging someone out. If she's not interested, the young lady's not interested.
That's real.
If she is taking things and continuing to entertain, that's a different story. And then he ends up getting her in that space, okay. But like, I feel like everybody has the space to be like, I'm not interested in, even if you are nice, right?
That's valid. So even if you're not interested, you can't make a blanket statement that say men in Atlanta ain't shit, or there's no quality men, when you just decided to put your blinders on and not look at these quality men over here.
I mean, I think that everybody is going to speak on their experience. So I'm not saying there's no quality men in Atlanta. So let me not say that. I'm just saying that the quality, I'm not saying there's no quality men. And if I said that, that's a misspoke. But what I am saying is that the quality is harder to find. I didn't say it's not there. It's harder to find. And the ones that you will see are the surface guys who will do all those different things.
Outside.
And I personally, like, if that's what we on, if we want to sit over here, like, I've never been that. And I'm not saying that I don't like material things, but I just never been that kind of girl that's been like, you got to make sure that you're getting me. We're going to this place and we're getting these things and we're in that location. No, I just really didn't ever want to interact with some goofy ass nigga. Goofy.
Can we say, all right, if there's a lack of quality man, there's for sure a lack of quality women.
Whoa.
For sure.
I mean, I guess, again, this is the circle that I'm exposed to, because the women that I
Ladies,
see.
let's talk about it.
The women.
Ladies, let's talk about it.
The women that I see that are getting not even passed up, but that aren't getting whatever is coming in is trash. I mean, these women have homes. They are responsible. They're taking care of their bills. They pay all their shit. They look good. They go to the gym. And I be like, what is it?
You know
so what is it?
So you just said you name all the traits of an independent woman, of a Mary Jane, right?
Right.
So now, do you think those women have the capacity or capability to be submissive?